What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Game Show Invitational. It's going to be Game 2 between Basically Unknown and Next.KZ upcoming. I'm Mike Lowers, going to be joined by HeflaTV for this game. I can only hope that this game is like half as great as last game, because that was just so awesome.
Yeah, it was actually very refreshing in comparison to like really stale professional games where everything is like by the book. Level 1 Roshan, it's been months I've seen that actually like the mistakes were made. A lot of mistakes were made. Both teams are far from perfect, but there were some fights where you saw the potential of each player. For example, I didn't see Relax doing the right thing for the first 20 minutes of the game, but then later his acro slams, his fissures and everything secured so many kills, but also the plays by the Slug were actually good. Like he always rumbled through the entire team of Next.KZ, making them short of 2 supports, but of course the dual core Shadow Fiend and Morphling, especially Morphling who had so much farm, they just punched it through. It was quite amazing.
And it was supplemented by Hans Beastmaster. It is going to take a respect ban out this game. I think we didn't really talk that much about the Beastmaster in the last game just because he did his job just as you would expect from a Beastmaster, but he did his job so consistently and so goddamn often that like it was just something that just kind of happened. Next.KZ were reliant on. That roar was always there. The Necro units were there as well, up against the Shadow Blades, just providing that true sight invaluable. So I think that respect ban from BU perfectly justified. We have an Undying in the field though, Basically Unknown, maybe going to take a little bit more of an aggressive track. This hero slightly nerfed, but I don't really think it's going to matter all too much. A little bit of a power level hit.
Yeah, and they get the Queen of Pain again, but like, I know you love her and I hate her. And to be honest, last game, where was the Queen of Pain? Like she's falling off so fast. Like the kills she got and everything.
I never said that.
Well, I just don't see Queen of Pain having like this dominant spot that it's something we see tier 2 teams and also other teams pick first. Like I just don't see it at the moment. But they stick to it. Sometimes it works out and there's a snowball developing, but this game I just didn't see it happening. Arise made some questionable plays. He came back on his lane, even though he was in an uphill battle because of the level 1 Roshan. But still, like if I looked at all the later fights, what did he do? Yes, some AoE damage, but that's it. He didn't go for a right-click build when I think it was time to shift into it. I would like to see Arise on just another hero, a hero that has like more impact on team fights, or then later can transition into something that is actually right-clicking and doing the damage.
I think, yeah, the second one I'm definitely a little bit more on board with. Get someone who can transition into more of a damage role. I think it was just Arise's performance in the Queen of Pain. Of course, Queen of Pain very early on up against an over-leveled mid-lane opponent. Not great times there, and that kind of janked with his lane a little bit, but his decisions to blink in, maybe not at the best times, really caused him quite a bit, but that was also because Next.KZ were with so many stuns, like the Roar, the Hex from the Lion, the Witch Doctor Cask, all these things to make this Queen of Pain's life super difficult. The Sonic Waves were good, but that isn't going to be defining your Queen of Pain play. We have a Chen being picked up by Next.KZ, also a hero that's freshly nerfed, and well, we'll see if that is going to matter at all in this game. We could, is it updated tooltip? Yeah, there it is. No, you actually can't see it, so I'll show you the updated tooltip later, guys, but basically Chen's creeps have now like a base minimum health instead of getting health added.
Yeah, no, it's just modifying the original health. That's the way I understood it, but maybe I'm wrong. The fact is, like, effectively, the creeps should have less HP. That's what it comes down to, I think, right?
Yes. The big creeps that you want have less HP, but the smaller creeps have a lot more HP.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is going to be... Maybe the Harpy. You just grab the Harpy and just chain lightning it
yeah,
out.
Suddenly you get, like, what, 800 HP Harpy there. Mana burning you.
No, I think it'll just set it to... I mean, at level 1, it'll just be 700 HP, because... You grab it, it doesn't have 700 HP to begin with, so it gets put up to 700. But still, that's a pain in the ass, dude. What do you do
Anyway,
about
Chen
that?
was banned last game, and I think that was for the reason that basically Unknown always fears the push. That's why they also ban out the Broodmother again, as well as the Gyrocopter even after nerf. The Lion did quite a good job, even though he was kind of useless then in the end, because if Slark found him, he just raced through Witchdog and the Lion. But before that, and on some initiations, he really did a good job. So, like, having that again, that's fine. The Shadow Fiend, to be honest, for about, I don't know, when we look at the end of the game and 10 minutes before that, he was kind of inactive, but it was really just, yeah, farming his portfolio. That's pretty much all he did. And then, yeah, he tanked up pretty much everything the Slark put out there. I mean, Slark was using, what, the initiation and like 10 hits, BKB, his ultimate, and then the Shadow Fiend was still standing. That's what pretty much made their lineup so strong, because the Shadow Fiend was tanky as a centaur. Let's see what's happening now. Basically, Unknown, they definitely had a problem falling behind in farm and everything. This might now change with the bounty hunter, because now every kill they get, and they really focus on like this, get one kill with a certain roaming combination, make that happen, and everything's good. Now with the Trek Gold, it really gets interesting. Bounty hunters at the moment, they're so rich. 200 gold for yourself, 50 gold for everyone who's involved in the kill, and that's just level 1. Later, it's getting actually ridiculous. If you have a team fight breaking out, and you have like just 3 targets tracked, for example, that's like easy gold for you. That's 1,000 gold for you just by your track, and potentially, I don't know, 2k, 3k gold if really everybody has his assists there. So it's kind of ridiculous where it goes.
And also, it's one of the best, if not the best, anti-Chen heroes in the game. You just follow him around, make his life very difficult, and then for PU, also having an Enchantress now, this is kind of looking like they want to just take this super early game, like Undying and Enchantress and a Bounty Hunter. Like, those 3 heroes usually going to play more of a light supporty role, but it seems like Undying is going to take a core role this game. Basically, Unknown, they need someone else to actually lend a hand in these pushes, maybe a safe lane DK or something like that, but they just need some way to take down towers. But they have so much anti-Chen right now. The only way that they get more anti-Chen is if they grabbed a Witch Doctor or a Clinks or something like that, which would actually be pretty sweet for basically Unknown, just last pick of Clinks.
How many forth and back steals we gonna see between Enchantress and Chen? This is gonna be hilarious.
Usually Enchantress has an edge. Like, she runs out of mana a lot faster, but Enchant is, I guess, well, no, they changed the cooldown, didn't they? I would say Enchant usually has more uptime, but it doesn't.
No, it's 30, 25,
Barely.
20, 15, and a bit more, a bit longer on the Chen. So, yeah, she, in theory, wins.
Well, we'll see if Chen is actually able to hold control of his creeps. When you do use the Enchantress steal on a Chen's creep, you put it on the Enchantress timer. So that is also something I guess might be relevant. Like, just stealing Chen's creeps guarantees its death in the long run.
5 seconds.
Which,
Yep,
remaining.
definitely.
I guess,
And
is nice.
I'm just worried a bit about the right click at the moment. I mean, the Darkseer is something that really becomes valuable if you get heroes with auras, heroes with existing right click and stats, but what's there actually on the other side? Like Illusion of Enchantress, okay, that's interesting. Bounty Hunter Undying, that's not too interesting, to be honest. I'm not really sure how that Darkseer is gonna work out. I'm kind of reluctant looking at him as a good pick.
Really? Because I'm looking at what Basic Unknown have, and I see 0 CC. Just slows.
Yeah,
like
that's
a
true.
Shadow Strike and an Enchantress slow, that's nothing. And Dark Troll for the Enchantress, that's really good up against Darkseer, but outside of that, this Darkseer Surge is going to get him out of trouble in lane, going to get his allies out of trouble down the line. And when you're talking about running away from Bounty Hunter with track, like getting that additional movement speed is invaluable. Disengaging from a Tombstone, the same exact thing. It'll help Next.KZ choose when and where to pick their fights, and it's not like a clockwork pick, which does it very differently. You commit into that fight once you jump in, whereas for Darkseer, you can commit to leaving a fight very quickly. So I actually think this Darkseer, even though, like, yeah, his wall isn't really going to be doing that great, he is going to have a pretty easy time in lane. And now with the Slark pick, man, Slark with Ion Shell in the mid game is absolutely bonkers.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Like Slark, if he goes for Shadowblade, for example, or the Iron Shell, to be honest, when it comes to cores, it's pretty much like the last game. We have a dual core strategy on Next.KZ, and the longer this game goes, the more I see it shifting towards Next.KZ, simply for the reason I said earlier on, like Queen of Pain, I just don't see her being played as a right-click hero, and Arise so far has never really tried that. We have the Lifestealers, so Chen is gonna have even a harder time, but that lifestealer, if he's hexed before Rage, if there's any stun coming in by the slug, Rage runs out, and then he's just getting pananced and fingered and iron shelled and razed to death. This is not gonna be fun, and I don't like basically Unknown's draft. The only thing I can see totally happening is Enchantress going for insane right clicks, even against BKB target, because it's piercing. But besides that, I think my only hope for basically Unknown getting through this game in a flawless victory is Bounty Hunter Snowball. Get the track gold, go in, finish the game before it finishes you. That's where I can see it at the moment.
Everyone has to snowball, though. This Lifestealer pick, if you gave me 10 chances to guess basically Unknown's last pick, I would not guess Lifestealer, because Lifestealer is really bad versus Slark. You cannot catch up to him. You open his wounds and he just packs it out and then jumps away. Easy escape there every single time. Relax is apparently gone, but yeah, outside of that, you open the wounds of anyone else in the Next.KZ side, they either get sent back to the base by Chen, get healed by Chen, or get surged out. And Unknown, they have no hard CC, absolutely none, to make sure this Lifestealer can actually get in and hit things. He is very good versus Chen, but that's about all he's good at right now. He could burst out of a creep, but then what? Like, you're stuck in the middle and you're gonna be kited.
To be honest, I will... What? Oh, it's just the admin saying. I was like, what? Who's replacing who? Anyway, with the Lifestealer, I have to completely agree with you. It's a very immobile target. The slow is not working on anything that has surge, on anything that has leap, or can like completely dispel it. I just don't see it happening. And it's also with 6.84, I was excited, like, yeah, oh, we get Lifestealers, a lot of Lifestealers. So far I casted 4 Lifestealers, and all of them lost.
No, Next.KZ, why are you still making this mistake? This is the second time I've seen teams do this.
Oh my god. Remake. Remake.
Well, now they have perfect vision of their base, so Unknown won't be able to get away with anything there, but we're just going to pretend that didn't happen as we load out into Game 2, guys. Everyone going into their lanes. For the Next.KZ side, it's going to be Han playing the Darkseer. Had a great game as Beastmaster in the last game. Let's see if we can repeat that. Lucky is on the Chen for the Next.KZ side. Sumeru is on the Lion once again. Topar is on the Slark, and that leaves Ahmed on the Shadow Fiend again.
Yep, and on the other side, like, frontline at the moment is Stumman on the Bounty Hunter. Scouting already relaxed. This time on the Undying, we have on the Queen of Pain Arise again, as usual. Pure Evil, this time on the Enchantress. His role in this game is going to be very, very interesting, and even more interesting because it's pretty much the only decent late game core is Nico Baby on that Lifestealer.
And Lifestealer, if he tries to go for this rune, he's going to be in for a rude awakening. He is facing up against a Lion with Boots first and with Hex first, and Lifestealer, though, is pretty tanky, and Chen really bad at these level 1 engagements, as is Shadow Fiend. They will have more than enough to shove this Lifestealer out. Nico Baby, don't go down there, man. Bad idea if you go down there. With Undying in the area, it gets a little bit better, but not really by that much. It's going to be even Bounty Rune split for the mid laners. Pretty standard stuff there. Tangos should be delivered, and well, how are these lanes actually going to work out? Nico Baby's heading to the bottom lane. Off-lane Lifestealer? I guess with the read of him going up against Darkseer, that's not the worst thing that could happen, but he is going to be constantly pushed in by these ion shells.
Yep. By the way, can I also remind you that, like, for example, on D2L or other betting sites, the odds for Next.KZ, they are like 30% or less.
Ooh,
this is quite insane, to be honest. If they actually win here, then some people lose a lot of items and some people win a lot of items.
That's cashing in, and I think that's partially because Next.KZ, they used to be a household name like 2-ish years ago. They were, you know, pretty much the barrier between tier 1 tier 2. I think they were about as skilled as Vega are now. I think you can make that comparison, but they have since, I think this is actually a new Next.KZ lineup. Like, Next.KZ just picked up this team, or recently they did, or at least they're performing recently. Sumeru is going to get jumped in the top lane. Enchantress does have the best creep right now. Will they have enough damage to kill him off? Yes, they will. Topar lands a pounce, but that'll do next to nothing to relax. So those are the type of plays that Unknown really need to make in this game.
And look what the Bounty Hunter is doing at the moment. He's only focused on that Chen. But to be honest, the only Bounty Hunter that's really worth something is the one that is on level 2, because then you have Janata and Shadow Walk, and that really makes it strong. But at the moment, he is really just harassing the Chen, so he doesn't get anything. But he's also not getting anything in return, and that's the biggest problem. Shadow Fiend, really low, just one right click missing from getting a kill, so Arise getting the revenge there. And well, what's the Bounty Hunter doing? He wanted to grab that kill, but Storman, and you're level 1. Jesus, that is some bold dive.
Dude, walk in the tier 1 tower, hope it doesn't hit you, hope it doesn't see you for some reason. That was not a good plan, let me tell you that. But that was a suicidal play. Now Arise in a little bit of trouble. Will get out before the raise lands. That was very close. But Arise will survive. Does he have his bottle coming out? He does. So we'll chug that one, probably send it back, and then rinse, repeat. Literally, since you gotta rinse that bottle, man. 2-1, though, in favor of Unknown. As far as CS is concerned, though, Lifestealer is doing very well, but expect this to happen. Han just getting in there with the Ion Shell. Lifestealer, though he does have Feast and Open Wounds, can't really compete up against Darkseer. He's going to surge forward. Nika Baby is going to salve himself. And now in the tier 2 tower, Han might have overcommitted. He will get the kill before he dies. And that'll be so worth it for the Darkseer.
I don't understand. Open Wounds, even on level 1, they were all melee. He just didn't use it when the Rage was up. That would have probably given him the edge with like the right-click healing, but nope, he didn't use it. Make it a trade in the end, but yeah, the Darkseer wins this one just because he, dies last.
Yeah, he gets the kill and then dies, so Nika Baby does not get the experience, whereas Han, he does, and it's going to be continuously shoving this lane. At a certain point, Lifesteal will have, a tool to get rid of one of these Ion Shells with the Infest, but that's about it. We do have Stoneman on the roam once again towards mid, where there is, I think Enchantress just jacked that creep from Chen. I think that might have happened, but yeah, this Bounty Hunter's just looking for this Chen. Where is Chen? He's in his base. Level 1, and Enchantress is happily farming it up in her own jungle right now. The jungling war is being won slightly by this Enchantress, but for Unknown, they need Enchantress to dominate the jungling war.
Yeah, absolutely. But with this lifestealer not doing so well, I fear a bit more for basically Unknown. But then again, like the Enchantress, maybe she makes it all happen. And now we have a mini stun sort of thing. I mean, 0.6 seconds coming her way, plus a center stun. So you open with the Mud Golem, you go into the center, that could be easy kill, and it's pretty much a 3 versus 1 situation here.
Well, Ahmed's going to take a lot of nuke damage, and Stoneman's going to arrive as well. That's at the very least guaranteed experience for the bounty. They will get that kill on the Shadow Fiend without too much of a problem. The value of the Hurl Boulder for the Mud Golem really in that damage and not as much in the stun duration. Stoneman's going to run into a couple heroes. He gets dusted up, though, and he's going to get hexed and brought down as well. Chen's going to grab that one on the bounty. It's a nice little trade overall for Next.KZ. They get something out of it, but still losing their Shadow Fiend now twice. Not how they want to have this game start out.
But this, guys, this is what every... Oh, never mind, top here. There's a nice go on the Undying. I don't know if he has a heal. No, there's no Soul Rip, but also the Slark has to go back, and he didn't go back. He just wanted to focus that Tombstone in the end. That was in vain. Decay level 2, just too much damage. Even the right clicks of the Undying, they were just too strong with, like, so much strength on him.
And it's not really the greatest Undying lane where you're going up against just one hero, but still, the fact that he's level 6, has 3 points in that Tombstone, nerf or not, the Slark... I guess that was the right move for Topor since he wasn't going to escape from the zombies, so you might as well try to just kill them all and get some gold before you die. But Stoneman's going to find a courier. 2 more hits he needs, and he will get it with the Orb of Venom. That's a big pickup for the Unknown side, and this is seemingly the start of their snowball. Like, they're getting a whole bunch of kills. They're laning pretty darn well. Even this Life, they're doing a lot better than I would expect to be against this Darkseer. 3-5 right now, and Unknown are more or less where they should be for this type of draft. They just have to capitalize on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, basically Unknown has the advantage that they're more active in the beginning of the game, but that's pretty much about it. It's really about it. If they don't get that snowball rolling actually through towers then, and we're talking about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, by 25 minutes, I think they have to be knocking on the high ground. Otherwise, there's always a chance for Next.KZ to come back in the late game.
Topor up towards top. Tombstone is going to summon 2 zombies on him with Relax right on his tail. It's going to be a solo kill by this Undying. Got right in the way of the Slark's pounce, and Slark's still a little bit short of that ultimate. Bottom lane, though, this is going to be almost a kill. Infest out, Nika Baby almost dying to the residual Ion Shell. That was super close, but now he's on the run. And, well, the Darkseer has no support. Sonic Wave will pick him off. And this Lifestealer gets to live. Even getting a little bit of life back, but now salved and bottled. Nika Baby can stick in this lane, and it looks like he wants to go for Power Treads first, although it seems like Midas won't be terrible either. maybe this is a game for Leicester to go power treads into Armlet. Topor is going to leap and miss up towards top. Now the net is there from Pure Evil. He overcommitted, but he will get the pact off. Relax without any tombstone, cannot actually follow up.
Yep. Well, Next.KZ, they have to be careful that they don't lose too much. That's the biggest problem at the moment. Chen, well, no, he's not gonna die here. That's everything fine. But the Bounty Hunter, he's looking for it. If the Chen is going back, he will die. But at the moment, he has the Unholy Aura. That's 4 HPS. He has a Tango shared by the Shadow Fiend, so it should be fine for now.
Yeah, I know the Unholy Aura is called this because of Warcraft 3, but I don't see how this Satyr is in any way unholy. It makes no sense, dude. They need to rename
It doesn't make any sense that the Unholy Aura is actually healing. It should be a Holy Aura, but Lucky is getting found by the Bounty Hunter again. He has one more dust, and the Shadow Fiend is close, so Bounty Hunter, I don't think that's a good thing to initiate here.
You could see those puffs of smoke when the Bounty Hunter uses that invis, but it seems like he was in the fog enough so that he was fine. Stoneman is going to be a nuisance, as Bounty Hunters usually are, but he is leveling up slowly but surely, and slowly being the operative word. Bounty Hunter needs that level 6 if he's actually going to contribute in a greater way to this game, but he's not really getting that. He's stealing a little bit of experience from the Next.KZ side. He is keeping Next on their toes right now, but sooner or later, I think he's going to slip up, or he's not getting anything in the meantime. So the value of the Bounty Hunter staying in that area, not that much. And you compare that to Pure Evil, who's still, again, happily farming his own jungle.
I mean, he had a good start. He's almost level 4, but I think he should hit a lane, get some lane experience, get level 5, because then then everything is coming out. So that's not really happening at the moment. So you're right. Like, the longer this goes, the longer he stays in that area, the less value he actually has. Of course, there's still the nuisance to Lucky. Lucky also on level 3. He doesn't get much out of all of this here because of the Bounty Hunter. There are also new wards, the Sentry wards placed, so he can't even go for those mid camps. So can't the Shadow Fiend.
Shadow Fiend in the meantime, blink forward, Sonic Wave, Arise is going to take that kill so easily with the help of the DD rune up towards top. In the meantime, Relax getting into a fight with Topor. This time Relax can't get the kill because of that Shadow Dance, and Slark will survive to fight another day, but the third death of the Shadow Fiend, and Arise is going to have a much better game this time than the last. He is so far ahead of the Shadow Fiend with 2k additional net worth.
Oh, look, bottom.
Bottom lane, Han is in a little bit of trouble. Drops the wall, Stoneman is going to take a lot of damage because of it, but they don't have any vacuum to follow up. They now have the mana to do it, but yeah, they will just cleanly disengage from that one.
Yep, that was actually quite interesting. But this level 1 wall, that's a good thing. It's always now on a cooldown. It has been slightly buffed, so yeah, you can actually use that just to, I don't know, get rid of certain people. Top, however, the tier 1 tower is going down, so I don't see anyone defending this. There's also a creep skip going on with the Centaur Conqueror by the Enchantress, so easy going for them. That's besides the lead they already have. Of course, they also get now a tier 1 towers.
Well, it's a tower for Unknown. They need to get a couple more in this game. Again, they are reliant on the snowball, and their snowball is going to be amplified and, well, really starting off with these tower destructions. Enchantress level 5 closing in on those imps, so soon her damage output is going to skyrocket. Similarly for the Queen of Pain, she's going to jump right in towards the Shadow Fiend. There is no Sonic Wave here. It's a little bit unfortunate. A Sonic Wave probably would have gotten the kill. Yeah, with pure damage and then the Shadow Strike damage, I think would have been enough to commit to that dive. But either way, Shadow Fiend going to get really roughed up in its bottom lane, where we see an attempted gank from Next.KZ looking for that Hex. Surge forward into Hex. Nico Baby is a fish now and Spike, but it's a little bit too late from Sumeru. Misplayed a little bit. Although, to be fair, I think even if the Spike lands, they don't have enough to get the kill.
Nope, I don't think so. There's still the Infest and everything, but on the mid there's again a go on the Shadow Fiend. He's super slowed by the zombies already, and, well, Arise is coming in. This time his mid lane is going so much better.
And this is probably going to be a tower push as well. Pure Evil does have a Mud Golem. Not exactly the creep that you want to go for these pushing. It doesn't have that much damage. It doesn't have that much health, really. But, hey, it's something. And they will put a lot of pressure into this tower without any sort of response for Next.KZ. This game for Next.KZ is a game where they pretty much just have to hold out and turtle. But Topor is not having a good game. The Shadow Fiend is not having a good game. If they aren't getting farm, they could turtle for like 20 minutes. But it doesn't really matter since they'll have like drums and a mech. And that was nice, but it's just not enough. So, Unknown, they are in right now control of this game. They just have to keep this up, and that's really where this game is really going to be a problem for them, because Lion's level 6 is incoming. That is the biggest kill tool that Next.KZ can ask for.
Oh, this is not going anywhere. Oh, they saw him, but there's no dust. Where's the dust? Dust by Chen, not used. Everybody's just coming in. and this is a 4-on-3 situation here under the tower. They lose their tier 1. But yeah, my fear for Next.KZ is that they just lost too much early game now. I mean, we are looking at a 6-7k net worth lead by now for basically Unknown, based on the 2 towers, based on the nice laning they had pretty much everywhere. And now this bounty hunter also gets some laning uptime, which means he's gonna be very, very interestingly leveled, and he's maybe even getting that deny here.
On the bottom lane, it is being pushed right now. Unknown have taken 2 towers already, and Pure Evil this time has a useful creep in the Dark Troll Summoner. Skeletons don't really do a lot, but it does add up. And Next.KZ looking for a trade in mid. There is a Queen of Pain here with a Sonic Wave. This push will not work, so it should be a free tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. It will be Topor looking for a pick off on a Stoneman up towards top, but the Slark with no True Sight can't do this one by himself, so Unknown, they're going to grab an armlet on this Lifestealer, they're going to just beat down the tier 1 tower, get it for probably free, and maybe try to defend their tier 1 as well. Undying going to fall back, and that's going to prompt an immediate retreat. Next.KZ's lucky, going to get caught with the dagger, but he will be fine right now. It's just a pick off of the tower for Unknown, and in the meantime, Next.KZ just trying to scrape together some farm, but again, they're not really farming all that quickly, and these heroes, with the exception being the Shadow Fiend, do not farm all that fast.
Yeah, I mean, they're not farming at all if you really look at it, because like everything they farm together, they lose it really, really fast. And what is the Shadow Fiend going for? Stuff of Wizardry. Okay, now it gets interesting.
It's like he's going to go for a Yule Scepter build, trying to burst down the squishier targets of Unknown. Bounty, Queen of Pain, and Enchantress, all, you know, a little bit vulnerable to that type of combination. It's nice to have, I suppose, and I guess you could rely on your Chen to get the mech most of the time, but Chen also has a Staff of Wizardry, so this item build on Shadow Fiend, I think it's fine. I don't know what this Chen is going for, though. A straight Aghanim's Rush?
I don't know, we have to find out. Stuff of Wizardry first. I don't know, this is a strange indication. We have to see what's happening. I mean, at least the Darkseer had some nice lane. Our statsman already told us that, like, despite his 2 deaths, he is really nice in farm, but that's the only little, I don't know, sunray we have in this dark time for Next.KZ. We're heading towards 14 minutes, to be honest, and with 3 tier 1 towers down, Unknown.
Oh, mid.
Give it 1-2 minutes.
Surge, Hex, Spike, Wall, Vacuum back, but Arise taking no damage. If they had a Finger of Death there, super easy kill, but as nice as it is to get that Surge Hex, you need to actually do damage while the Hex is active.
Yep. And back to my timer, I think in about 2-3 minutes, basically Unknown, they will look at Roshan, because that's totally doable for them at the moment. They control 2/3 of the map. Even Nico is farming the enemy jungle from time to time when everything's alright. They have the Enchantress creeps. They can get a Roshan after, I don't know, any fight. They also have everything needed for a nice return, like the Orchid on the Queen of Pain, for example. That's an easy kill on anything at the moment. They might even go for the Slark here. He's silenced, and, well, no ultimate, no nothing, but he has a leap in now.
It's down to the low ground. He might run into this suicide. No, he'll try to TP out. Arise has no Sonic Wave, and the Slark will live, albeit barely. Stoneman does have his track right now, and I think he sent it to the Slark. Yeah, it is connected, but it's not going to last, so he'll just packed it out. Crucially, though, level 6 on the Bounty Hunter. He also has his Medallion, so you know, if their plan is going to go for that Roshan, then Bounty Hunter will be able to contribute a little bit more damage in that regard. And for Next, they have a wall, in theory, and a vacuum to contest Roshan, but I think at this point they're just a little bit too far behind to actually do anything about the Roshan if Unknown started up right now. But Unknown, they're playing this a lot slower than I really expected of them. I would have thought they would be either in Roshan right now or knocking at the door of the tier 2 tower, but it seems like they're just jockeying for position. They're going to go in now.
Yep, that's pretty much what I said. My timer of 2 minutes was absolutely accurate. But the only good thing I can see right now for Next.KZ and the Darkseer, and also the Darkseer's nice positioning in farm, is the simple fact that Wall of Replica is a mechanic that is like pretty much reverse engineering. It's like the stronger your enemy it is, then the stronger you get. So it's a good comeback tool as such. This Roshan is quite interesting because they are slow, they get a lot of damage, and do they actually quit? Yes, they quit.
Well, top lane's being pushed, bottom lane, mid lane, everything is being pushed by Next.KZ. And the Roshan, it was pretty safe there for Unknown, but they just didn't have the necessary damage. Topor, what are you doing there? TP out, Arise has no Sonic Wave, and Slark playing things really, really dangerously, will get out of there, but the bounty hunter trying to track down the Chen will not get out, will not be as lucky. Up towards top, looks like Lion and Darkseer both gonna secure their escapes. Next.KZ with the split push, which will keep Roshan alive for right now, and Unknown, they end up losing their bounty hunter. I don't think any towers were destroyed though.
Yeah, but like, oh my god, is there a right click on the tower? Right click, Lion? Yes, Lion got it, but open wounds are up. That's the biggest problem. He's gonna pay for that. Did he buy anything? No, 900 gold. He didn't have anything on quick buy. That would have been actually worth it. Like, getting the tower right click, buying something instantly, losing 0 gold. That might have been really interesting. Darkseer, well, he has to face a tombstone in the top line, but that's not really dangerous. Or is it? Look at that Undying. He's like super aggressive.
Yeah, you're not going to catch up to him. He has Surge and I don't have no CC, no track either, which maybe would have done it.
Bottom.
They're going to find Topor instead, on the bottom lane. Or do they? I think Stoneman missed him, but he'll catch him eventually, I'm sure. There we go. Slark, target acquired. And now Slark knows about it as well. Arise going to blink into some trees, though, with Nico Baby there as well. Sonic Wave through. And with the Orchid on the Slark, he has no chance of survival. They'll burst him down in an instant. 4-11 now in favor of Unknown. Now do they go for Roshan, knowing the enemy Slark is down?
I guess, yeah. Now that's the timer. It's only a 30-second timer. To be honest, I still think that, like, quitting that Roshan was anyway a bad thing, because I don't think that split push was really strong enough to say, like, okay, we quit on Roshan. Anyway, they're going back in. This time the support of the creeps is missing, however, which means Nico Baby, he actually has to tank the Roshan. There's open boots. D-Magic was already up by the Queen of Pain. But it's again a pretty slow Roshan. Now that the medallion is coming in, well, that's gonna change a tiny bit, but Nico is getting stunned and punched.
Well, Pure Evil has a heal, and Nico Baby will have some bottle charges from Arise if need be. This Roshan is going to be cleared out, and it will be Arise to grab that double life. I think that's the correct decision. Up towards top lane, though, they're going to look for a go on Relax, unless the tombstone is dropped and they will fall back. Aegis is going to let Unknown confidently push down these tier 2 towers, or at least try to go for team fights, and go for Topor on the bottom lane. That's a great way to start that out. If Arise gets in there with the Blink Orchid, no chance for Topor to actually get away. And there are a lot of heroes converging on the bottom lane right now for the Unknown side. Topor, he's just happily farming away. Suddenly, Blink, Orchid, and Infest, and he's dead.
He should have just taken that Shadow Amulet. Like, I'm serious. Like, if he would have picked that one up, then at least they had something, but nope, it's not gonna work. It's absolutely not gonna work. He dies, I don't know, the second time in a row. At least in the top they are looking at Relax. No Tombstone for another 18 seconds or so, but this is just not working what Next.KZ is doing. Like, it's just getting shut down. Amit also in the mid might be in trouble because there are 2 guys coming for him. Never mind that they actually canceled it.
Top lane with a spike, but now the bounty hunter is going to come in, start tracking up some heroes. I think Darkseer just canceled the TP, is going to get the vacuum wall off, but it's not going to do that much against these heroes. Queen of Pain can in fact just blink right over the wall. And now, well, they will disengage cleanly with the Surge. Unknown's lack of CC is going to start catching up to them if they get into those engagements constantly, but they still have quite an advantage right now. They still see the Lion, and Arise, does he actually want to blink into a Lion who has Finger of Death? That might be a death sentence for the Queen of Pain. Now, she won't do that.
Yep, no, that's a really bad idea.
Okay, well, that's not good for this Slark. I mean, to be fair, he is 0-4-0. This guy is not having a good game at all. Shadowblade, as an item for Topor, what are your thoughts? Like, I don't think this is really the game where it's going to be the best. I feel like he has to get ready for a straight-up heads-up fight.
I don't know, he doesn't seem... I mean, besides the Shadowblade, it might be okay because you can remove a lot of the track stuff and everything, but it's also not his game, to be honest. Like, he's very unfocused. Like, out of this creep wave he had, for example, right now, he got 1 CS and everything else was missed. So, I don't know, I think really that after his Morphlane game with a good performance and a free farm in a lane, this Slark that is more under pressure and also like receiving a lot of ganks, his performance is really down, I have to say.
Well, we'll see if he can recover at all in this game. Shadowblade would be an item to try to recover, but again, it's a little bit risky since sometimes it just won't work. Up towards top, Han actually just going to buzz the Wild Wing with his Ion Shell, and that's about it, but they do have a lot of heroes going up towards top. That's not a good time to pause. I don't believe Unknown know about this smoke. They probably didn't even see Topor move up towards the top lane, so Sumer is going to be leading the way. If he runs into Stoneman, then he has no detection. Is there any detection here? The Chen has it, but it really should be on the Lion.
Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna happen here top, but maybe they transition into some sort of push while Nico plus the Queen of Pain are bottom. Then again, Arise can just pick up Nico and they go for a big fat bomb top, and that's, I don't know. To be honest, I think that the Slark should just finish his farming, get at least the Shadow Blade done, and then they can look for some easier kills. But who's actually easy to kill at this point? They don't have silence, just a tiny bit. Disables, so Queen of Pain gets away, Relax is too tanky, Enchantress, you need, I don't know, a whole army to get her down at this point. She has nice HP already, with Strength PTs, a point booster, and Orca Club, so he's boosting her HP because she knows there's a lot of, like, magic damage coming, but she also has, like, 4 points in Untouchable, so magic damage is really the way to go at the moment. And who else is there? Like Bounty Hunter, you need vision, and Nico is also kind of hard to kill. He's getting more and more armor, more and more strength, Armlet Toggle, and the Infest. So, who are easy gank targets here? I don't know. I don't see any.
With this, when you have a smoke active, then Bounty Hunter is really the only one that they could go for. Queen of Pain, when she doesn't have an Aegis, is also a pretty viable target, but yeah, she's 900 HP only. When you have a Lion on your team, it's not that hard to cut through. Everyone else, especially Lifestealer and Dying, not going to happen. Hell, even the Enchantress is way too tanky to convincingly burst down every single time. So, yeah, Smoke is going to help them out in a big way versus this Bounty. If they could actually catch him, they have Sumeru now leading with the Dust, so they have heeded my advice. They'll see the fact that Bounty was just here, dust up and miss. Will they go for Pure Evil instead? Looks like they kind of want to, but they kind of don't. I don't know if they were actually spotted there. It seems like they weren't. Otherwise, Pure Evil would not be chilling near this tier 2, but they invest a Smoke, a Dust, a whole bunch of heroes, and they get absolutely nothing except for a tier 1 tower, or tier 2 tower loss rather. And now Arise, with the Lifestealer inside of him, is looking for another burst kill on this Slark. He has a Shadow Blade so close to completed. He does have it now, so even if he dies, not a big deal.
He dies, not a big deal. Well, it's still a big deal because he still needs farm. I mean, Shadow Blade is not the ultimate salvation for Slark. He's really, really underfarmed, and there is the gank. But this time, Shadow Blade on, easy go on Arise, still going for the crapshoot pretty much here, and it didn't really help. But top, there's a go on the tower, a wall is already standing, they have no interrupts whatsoever, everybody's just TPing out.
And they won't be able to catch up to this Darkseer really easily, though. Stoneman is here with the track. They'll get the silence of the Darkseer, however, a little bit too late. He gets the Surge off right before the Orchid lands, and that will be their entire escape. But they do lose the tower. It is denied by the unknown side. So Next.KZ, they really desperately need some sort of gold income in this game. Even a tower denied, like, they should be happy that they got something out of that. But yeah, they are really hurting for some cash right now. We have this, like, Blink Yule's build and the Shadow Fiend. He's had it for quite a long time, at least the Yule Scepter, but I don't think we've seen a single Requiem this game. He hasn't really found any opportunities to do so.
But to be honest, I have to disagree on the gold and everything, simply because if you look at the graphs, yes, they have an advantage for basically unknown, but this is, for the last 12 minutes, it's stagnant around 7.5k, and if you don't make any progress and the other team is finding just enough gold to keep up with you, that's totally fine, and most of the net worth advantage is based on towers. I mean, there are 4 towers down, while only 3 on the other side. Oh, actually, no, there are 4 now with the top tower. Never mind, I missed that. But still, it's...
They're going to get a little bit more, though. Like, this pushing from unknown is not going to stop, and they see Lucky jump in with an Infest Bomb. Lucky can't even get the Hand of God out to save himself. Even with the Force Staff, he goes down. It's a deep dive for unknown, but it's a dive that's unpunished. But they will lose a tier 2 in the meantime while they're cleaning out a tier 2 of their own. If they get into a racing scenario, they will be faster unknown. But still, if Next.KZ can take a tier 3 for a tier 3, that'll be great for them. But with the Tombstone now on the deck, Darkseer is going to grab Guardian Greaves in preparation for this fight. He has level 2 wall, level 4 vacuum. That can push unknown back, wall back, and 3 illusions created. But they will just cleanly disengage from that one. The Yule Scepter is there. Topor with Ahmed's and his Requiem will do a lot of damage to this Undying. He has a Vanguard. Well, Finger of Death even. That was a little bit overcommitment, but they'll find Pure Evil as well. Hex, Spike, something. No, they used everything on that Undying, and the Enchantress gets away. They lose the tier 3 tower. However, they don't lose Raxes. For Next.KZ, I think that's probably fine with them.
Yeah, well, I mean, siege damage wise, it was a bad trade. Half a tier 3 for a whole tier 3. They lost Chen at the beginning, but at least on the way out, they lost the Undying on the other side. So it's a fairly even trade, minus half a tower, pretty much, if you really want to summarize it that way. For the situation Next.KZ is in at the moment, I guess it's a okay-ish trade, but they could have got more because some of these spells they were, I think, a bit overkill. Hex. Say Hex and Stun was not needed on that Undying. The Finger of Death was not needed, in my opinion, and at least one of those spells would have been ready for additional kill.
Yeah, like that Enchantress. Any sort of disable and they get
Yeah,
that kill, but
anything.
invest way too heavily into that one kill. At this point, if you're Next.KZ, like, you can't really blame them for doing that. Like, they are behind right now. They'll be like, oh shit, we can get a kill. We're going to guarantee that kill. But now, it's going to be Stoneman to run into Sumeru. They also have Arise and a Lifestealer in there. Jump in, Orchid onto Han, and he's going to get torn to shreds. When you are Orchided, you cannot surge yourself, so that's a pretty easy kill for Arise. 5-14 now for Unknown. They are in prime position to make some sort of push happen, although it seems like waiting for Roshan should be the option for them to pursue right now. There's no reason to push it when they could just easily wait for 1-2 minutes.
And this is just so insane. I mean, the reason they are leading in gold so much, basically Unknown, is not just, of course, leading so much in kills, but it's all these track kills. They really start to hurt. I mean, this kill, the last kill on the Darkseer, that translates into, let me do math, 850 gold. A Darkseer kill with 3 people involved, level 1 track, is 850 gold. That is complete madness. This is madness. I mean, 800 gold, like almost a K gold for this.
And, well, they're going to try to go for a push right afterwards. Tombstone once again deployed, but in the back end, it's going to be Topor caught out. Was stalking the Queen of Pain for a long time, but just apparently a little bit too long. With the Darkseer alive, however, the Slark's death is still fightable now for Next.KZ, and they got to go very, very soon. Fortifications available, but they'll lose the Lion on the... Why is he there? I have no idea, but he will buy back. They're looking for a wall. It'll go up, but that wall just did nothing. Actually nothing. Now the silence on Darkseer. He's going to force out and Guardian Grieve himself, but that wall is not what they needed. Amit's going to jump right in with the Requiem. That'll also do nothing. That is 2 wasted ultimates for Next.KZ. Unknown can turn around and continue this push if they really wanted to.
Bad fight, bad fight. Like, I mean, they used everything just to zone them out, and yes, they were watching how their barracks goes down. Slark, of course, was down. Lion was in an awkward position. He was like behind the lines, but he got spotted out by the Enchantress. In the end, the Requiem used against what? Arise uses BKB to mitigate it, and Nico just jumped into the free Enchantress train to mitigate it. So that Requiem did pretty much 0 damage, not at least not on those targets who could potentially actually do something. So yeah, melee racks down. Also, nobody spotted out that observer ward in their base, which means everything they do at the moment is completely seen. Also, right now they are under observer ward. So basically Unknown, they feel really comfortable right now. They know everything of their enemy.
And they will continuously let Next.KZ know that they have vision because they have tracks, so vision can be kept up for them through wards and through heroes. And Roshan's going to respawn in 1 minute. Unknown can just chill in this area, very slowly clear out some Ancients, but mid lane is going to be pushing in towards the Next.KZ side, and they have, you know, great skills at shoving the wave, like raises, double raise kills off creep wave still. Ion Shell is fantastic at that, but they really can't commit heroes to mid lane and the Roshan pit. They need all 5 heroes in that Roshan pit if they're going to contest it. Oh, they might lose a courier. Stoneman is just out of range, but he is still stalking the enemies right now.
They used the dust as well, like a blind dust, because they expected someone there, but it's not happening at the moment. He's just hiding in the trees. There's still 1 dust available on the Lion, but Jesus Christ, like, this bounty hunter is paying so off. Like, this... Look at the net worth graph right now. I mean, I was saying, hey, for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we are completely stagnant, but just the last fight, like 2 track kills and the racks, that just did the trick. That's such a jump. I mean, Jesus, this jump is completely insane. The gold for bounty hunter kills. It's just, what the hell?
And when you're getting Raxes, that gold lead is expected to increase as time progresses because mid lane is now worth less to Next.KZ. They don't get as much bounty from these creeps, so they're going to be getting less income. So yeah, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them moving forward. Still, if they have the ability to take 1 or 2 good fights, maybe get a good Requiem wall off, stuff like that. They can recover in this game because they do have a Slark, they do have a Shadow Fiend, and we saw the ridiculousness of those two heroes in the last game. They're once again going to blindly dust next, and they will once again catch absolutely nothing. That's a little bit of an unfortunate time to do so. They will still be stalked by Stoneman right now, but I don't even think Next know about this. Stoneman is being so freaking sneaky as this bounty hunter, and here comes from the side Nuke Baby and Arise. Oh, he's going to charge right in, Life Stealer right onto this Shadow Fiend. Has a BKB and Yule Scepter, but he's taking so much damage. Yule Scepter will save himself from the Sonic Wave. They also handed God there as well, but they're going to go right onto Han. Wall is down, but it's not doing that much. They will pick off the Chen and the Darkseer straight after. Godlike streak for Arise, looking for more. They're going to chase down Topor. You know, they're going to change their mind and go for Ahmed instead. No way to cancel that TP. So they will have to let the Shadow Fiend go, but it's 2 free kills for Unknown, and they will jump right into the Roshan pit and probably grab that one without a fuss.
Yep, easy track kills there as well. Both of them were track kills. Roshan on top. This is gonna be another fight with like what 3k, 4k net worth swing or more.
This is gonna be a really easy Roshan. Nico Baby, I mean, we haven't even seen the weakness of this Lifestealer, the lack of hard CC, the fact that there's Surge against the other end. Because Next.KZ are always getting picked off by the Infest Bomb of the Queen of Pain. With the Orchid, there's no Surge, therefore Darkseer is just a big piece of meat. Yeah, this Lifestealer is now going to, for the most part, get rid of that weakness. With the Abyssal Blade, he's guaranteed at least some hits on enemy heroes in these fights.
Oh, that's dangerous what Ahmed is doing at the moment in the top lane. I mean, they knew that he just TP'd out, so why are you going there alone? I mean, he's just blinking into the trees, hiding there, and you can be just happy that there's nothing to actually scout out. But in the meantime, the bounty hunter, well, what is he doing? If they just had a gem, this bounty hunter would just be dead so many times. But well, he's here. He can track. He can scout. He's like a living ward.
That's such a demotion from a hero, but this is like what you have to do as bounty hunter. This is what you should be doing as bounty hunter, perhaps with a couple more tracks, but as long as Next.KZ are just throwing dust into the air and not finding anyone, this bounty hunter is allowed to do stuff like this. And maybe he's gonna wait for the courier to fly out again. Maybe he's just sitting there to see who's leaving the base, who's entering the base. He doesn't have enough pick-off potential by himself to actually do anything. Like, even a Chen just walking by, a Lion just walking by, not going to act upon that. But Arise, he might. He has a Lifestealer inside of him. Blink forward, sees Sumeru, and that's going to be a very easy track kill for Nico Baby. Just with one hit, and now he's chasing forward for more. Still has his Abyssal and Armlet, so he's very big. With the Aegis, he's doubly so. And their Wall Vacuum combo, Requiem, that's what they need right now. They'll kill off the Tombstone first thing, but Topor is going to get Abyssal before anything else. Sonic Wave through. Wall into Requiem, though, is going to connect onto 3. Will it be enough? Nico Baby's still alive with the Aegis available. Arise left full HP. They'll take down the Darkseer. Shadow Fiend gets sent back home. Lucky might not be as so. No, he will walk back. Will be just fine, but that was the best combo that Next.KZ could have asked for. And it did pretty much nothing. This game is looking lost from them.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this was a good combination. The Slark, well, yeah, dying without his ultimate. He knew that there is the Abyssal Blade. So, Shadow Fiend, if he dies here, that's bad news. But he can blink out. It's definitely Rax lost. The combination was nice, but also everything else just died so fast. Like the illusions and, well, of course, there's the Aegis. If Nico was dead right now, I think they had to retreat. But with Nico having the Aegis, easy gone. And that Chen just lost 50% by one impetus.
Yeah, this is an Aghanim's Enchantress we're talking about, so no one on the team of Next.KZ is going to fare well versus this Enchantress. They'll take down both mid and bottom. Unfortunately for Unknown, there's an inconvenience in their way. That's the top tier 2 tower, but it's just a minor annoyance for right now. They'll back off, refill the tanks, and then resume the push with a whole new set of items. We had Yule Scepter on the Enchantress. There's 2,800 gold on the Undying. I think you could buy a Crimson Guard with that amount of cash. Yeah, he only needs a little bit more to actually grab that one. So he'll grab that and then have enough for extra. Or a Force Staff, that's good too. Blink Dagger on the Lifestealer. Queen of Pain finished her Assault Cuirass, another 2,400. Next.KZ didn't stand a chance in the last fight without all these additional items. But now Stoneman has a Vlad as well. This game is, I mean, even a 5-man perfect, picture-perfect Vacuum Wall Requiem combo isn't going to do it.
Yep, absolutely. And now, basically, Unknown is really playing this in a very secure fashion, simply for the reason that they are one game behind. But I think we have the final fight right top now. But there's an Aizen go here on the Enchantress, but can they actually burst her down? There's the second race, but Nico is just coming in, Blink Decker, Abyssal Blade, easy going, but Shadow Fiend makes it out. But Slark, again, the Orchid is just screwing him, absolutely screwing him over. There are some buybacks, but Look at all this mess.
Well, Leifler just A-moving at this point. Like, actually, he could just A-move, and Next.KZ wouldn't be able to do anything about it. That seems like a pretty easy game. He's just going to charge forward. Tier 4 towers? What Tier 4 towers? Guys, GG has been called. And Next.KZ are going to lose Game 2. BU going to push it to a Game 3. This is definitely turning out to be an interesting series. I think everyone is in agreement. Basically, Unknown's draft is really freaking weird. But when you get so far ahead so early, it's going to really take a serious 322 throw to actually lose it. So we're going to be moving on to Game 3 between Next.KZ and Unknown in the Game Show Invitational. I'm Mike Lors. I'm joined by HeflaTV, and we will both be right back.